Hey, girl, hey.
Girl, hey.
It's the Single Mommy Hustle. What is going on? How you feeling today, Jay?
I am feeling good, feeling great, feeling good. How are you?
I'm really good, actually. I'm so pumped. I'm so charged.
You
I am.
smiling.
I
Why you
am.
smiling, girl? Who got you smiling?
Oh, the universe.
I
All
know,
things.
right?
All
Yeah.
things. I'm just like really basking in the blessings right now. I'm truly just so happy for this next phase and closing out this year on a high note and all the things that are coming to us, not just myself but to us. And God is good. God is good.
All the time.
Yeah, so this is Single Mommy Hustle. My name is Erica Murray. I am the executive director of Supreme Transitions nonprofit agency here in Detroit. And we got to give some shout outs real quick. Shout out to UJIMA. Hey, Karma. Hey.
Hey, Karma.
UJIMA is the National Center on Violence Against Women in the Black community. And we also have to give a big shout out to Kari Frazier at Detroit is Different. Yeah. And Engineer Joe. Hey, Joe.
There's
Hey,
Joe.
Joe. Oh, man. What would we do without Joe? This has been the best season. I'm sorry. It's been 3 years. In my opinion, this has been the best season of the Single Mommy Hustle.
You just see the maturity, the growth.
Yeah.
It's all there. Yeah.
Definitely. And apparently I talk more now.
You do. You do. You do.
I didn't know that people thought I was a mute, but I do
Yeah.
talk.
I think you got your
Talk, guys.
wings. I think you got your little comfort zone. I appreciate it.
You do me a little better. I talk a lot, actually.
That part. So we are going to get through our intros really quick. We said our hey girl hays to Karma, to Kari, all of our supporters, national partners, all of the survivors that chime in. We appreciate you. It is almost our very last episode of this season.
Ooh.
Almost. We saved the best for last.
Ooh.
Hey.
Fangirling. I am fangirling. I'm fangirling, y'all.
Hey, you just don't know. Loving being here. Loving it.
So, Umi, you have been on the Single Mommy Hustle before, but it was during the pandemic when we launched. And I thank you for doing the best that you could to support always. But we got you in the studio in Detroit.
In Detroit.
Umi
Here we
not in
go.
Ghana. She's not in San Diego. She's
Look.
not in Vegas. She here.
All you idiots, how that goes. Ooh.
Umi is here in the flesh, and we are so thankful.
Yeah, it's been it's like the pandemic never happened. We're back on full schedule of travel
We are.
every week. We're
We
on the
are.
road. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Umi, how do you feel about this transition from being quote unquote normal to the shutdown to now we reopening again? How do you feel? Because you've been on the plane. I'm like, where's my Umi going? Do she got her mask? Sis?
That's right. That's right. Shields, masks, all of it, because I'm on so many planes. But that's an interesting question because you don't really understand the difficulties or the challenges until you really make that transition. So I used to travel all the time. There was no problem. I loved traveling. It was great.
Right.
And then when we weren't traveling, I was getting so much done. You go on the road and it takes you're there working for 2-3 days, and then you got a day to get there, a day to get back. The whole week is gone. But when you just have to turn on Zoom
Yeah.
and be
It was
on
so
Zoom
convenient.
for
It was so
2-3
convenient.
hours, it was like, oh, I got time. I
Yeah.
got days left.
Yeah. And we didn't have to wear pants.
That's right.
In the Zooms, like,
We didn't have to wear pants in the pandemic in the
man,
Zoom
man,
meeting.
wow, it was so comfortable.
Pajama bottoms all day, Nothing
And
wrong
Umi,
with it.
I noticed in the pandemic, you perfected the beautiful headscarves and the glasses to coordinate. I was like, Umi sharp from the waist up. And you
was,
told us you were
yeah.
like addicted almost to like
I
ordering the
was.
glasses.
I was. And I probably got 40 different head wraps
Oh my
now.
goodness.
Different colors, different ways. I was like, oh, yeah, I had more time to do that, to
Yeah.
find those things. So
Yeah.
wardrobe changed. And, over my life, my wardrobe has changed,
Mhm.
So now I'm really like laid back, casual. I have suits that I don't understand how I would ever wear them again.
That's
I
sound
don't
like
see
me. I'm
it.
like,
I
how am I
don't see
supposed
it happening.
to find these things? Like,
Yeah.
I'll never
need
get
these.
dressed
I
again.
need these.
Right, right.
Now, I have to say, because we didn't do a formal introduction, we don't do introductions here. We do good girlfriend conversations. So it's not an interview. But Umi, we love you and we appreciate you so much. And we're beyond the moon happy that you are here with us. We thank God for you. And you see a lot of people chiming in. We see Serena Montes and D Mac saying hey and love you. Um, but you have mentored so many people. It's hard to give an intro for someone like you because longer than we've been alive, you have been working on our behalf.
Wow.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's hard to just kind of encapsulate who you are by a title or a name. But on our flyer, we said that you were the executive director of the Black Sage Collective.
There it is.
And we also said that you were the CEO of the National Institute on Transformation and Healing in the Black community.
There
Can
it
you
is.
tell others who are watching? Oh, Ann is here, Umi. Hey,
All the way
Ann,
from
Minneapolis. Hey, girl. Hey, that's love. Can you tell us and those who do not know who you are to the anti-violence against women movement, who you feel you are just within yourself, and who you would just like to be known for
Wow.
in your legacy?
Big question.
And girl, and
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
Yeah, big
Stop breathing while
question.
you talk.
because you are mama, you
Yeah.
are auntie, you are Umi.
And so I think we start there.
Yeah.
That's the way I've always felt. I don't think there was ever a time in which I didn't see myself very much connected to family. And family
Mhm.
for Black folk, as I see it, is very broad. So we all talk about aunties. We all talk about cousins. That's the way we refer to ourselves. We all talk about our children.
Mhm.
And so even when I was a younger woman, I still felt like I mothered
Mhm.
so many people. And I love that. So I see myself as just part of the community, just part of the way in which we support one another, that we uplift one another, that we love one another. And so as I do all of my work, it's centered on love. It's centered on love and on peace. So you mentioned the movement. Yeah, I've been in the movement for nearly 50 years. And quite frankly, it might be 50. I don't know.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
50.
right. Just stop counting at some point. But doing
Yes.
various different things, and I think my learning came from the diversity of experiences that I've just had over the course of life. And so I love that. I love that. But what I know is because I stood on the shoulders of so many. So
Wow.
it's not that I'm great. I got to recognize all of those people who were in my life, who shared with me, who I was able to sit at their feet. I was able to listen to them. I was able to hear the dynamics. I was able to even challenge them. They challenged me. And so,
We've had those moments.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, no, Umi, no.
And being with younger women, that has just been the star of my time. That really is the whole star of my time, because I learn and stay abreast of the new things. I'm old school, so I got all that old learning going on. But then when they challenge me about what's happening in their lives and new
Right.
thoughts and what they're hearing in the community, that makes me take a moment and say, okay, I got to catch up. I gotta know that too. And my children. So I have biological children,
Yeah.
and I have the
Yes.
children that I mother
Yes.
all the time. So it's just wonderful.
It is. It is. Justin?
I am just. I have to. Y'all know I always got a fun fact for y'all. I have to thank Umi for my transition and my evolution in life
Wow.
as far as a mother.
Wow.
Okay.
And I can remember sitting in a Rite Aid parking lot freaking out because I just did not know how I was going to be a mother to these teenagers that was driving me crazy. boo-hooing, crying, freaking out.
Wow.
And Umi talked me off that ledge, and I want to thank
Mm.
you. I have not
Mm.
returned back to that place since. I be having them days, and moments. But those teenagers that I was freaking out about, they are now adults.
Yeah.
So, you helped me and you talked me off that ledge. Like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
this is it. You are
That's
here.
right.
You didn't get a manual. Guess what? Those
Right.
kids didn't either.
Right.
Those
Y'all,
kids didn't get one either.
y'all
So,
really working my nerves because I got a list, right? And
yeah,
y'all are
like
hitting on all of my
10
questions on the list.
there have been some ledges. Like I want to look at it wasn't just that ledge she talked me off of. And I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's so
You have been
kind
pivotal.
to share. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like when I say fangirling, like fangirling. Erica will tell you, I used to say, I wanna be Umi when I grow up. I wanna be Umi when I grow up.
So, well, Umi, I left something at home. Today I closed, and my house is packed up. Yeah. But I'm moving to another location here in Detroit, and so I accidentally left something for you at home. But I know where you live in.
Yeah.
I bring it tomorrow,
That's
Thank
right.
you.
and you can just post a picture because I like to brag.
Right.
But but I did bring one of your gifts for
Oh,
me and
yes.
Jessica,
Oh,
the
my
Single Mommy
goodness.
Hustle. That's one of my favorite candles from back in the day.
Bath time. Bath time.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
sweet pea.
Love it. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, smell
That's
it.
a
It smells good.
blessing.
Aromatherapy is big. Smell it.
There it is. Yeah.
Look, I'm talking about smell it now. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow. That's
good.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Oh.
And so I had to bring your other gift tomorrow.
And I hadn't heard of this one before. So this is great.
It's a good one. It's really good.
I love it. You see, I know what to do with it. Put it on the side of that bathtub and turn the jacuzzi on and just
Ooh.
lean back. There it is. There it is.
So, Imani is here, so we do have a younger
Hi,
generation in the
honey.
room. Yes, Imani, how do you feel today and welcoming Umi to the Single Mama Hustle?
Oh, I feel regular.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's
It's
just Umi.
regular. That's there it is.
No, I know a superstar. That's my personal Lil Wayne. She don't act like Lil Wayne or nothing like that. Let's clear that up. But she is a celebrity like Lil Wayne.
Give the fun fact for DC when you figured out she was your own personal Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah, I was assigned to Umi. I was her security. And it's so funny because she's so friendly. Like she know all these people, so they all want to touch her and all this action. I'm like, don't touch her. Don't do that. Don't come too close. This one lady asked for a jacket. I'm like, no, you got to give it back. That's like, no. And she's just like, no, it's cool. It's okay. This is Imani. And I'm like, she know everybody. Like my anxiety, I'm sitting there with her bags. Like, no, like she is like a real like celebrity. So
I have to say that because I'm an older woman now, and I travel a lot, and and all is good. But I gotta say, the Detroit women take care of me
Amen.
wherever I go.
We don't play about
They're there.
we don't play about Umi. Her mama call her Sheila. We call her Umi.
That's
We
right.
don't play about
That's
it.
right. No, they take care of me. I don't have to worry about carrying bags. I don't have to worry about. eh, Did you eat? Well, I think I did. Well, we'll go get some food. I'm telling you, they take care of me. So travel now is a big blessing. It's a lot easier in many ways. A lot more love. Just a lot more love.
So, Umi, we shift, right, as women. We shift and we transform and we evolve over and over and over and over again. And you kind of touching on this new phase in your life. How do you accept that type of love and adoration that comes? I mean, from the White House on down. Let's not play about who we got here now. How do you just kind of stay grounded and just accept the love and don't feel weird or it's kind of unnerving for me as I'm continuing to grow, but I stand in your shadow and I take notes, right? So how do you manage that?
Erica, I'm just a humble person.
Yeah, you are.
I just, I don't see myself as any different than anybody at this table.
Mhm.
I don't see myself as any different than any of the survivors that I interact with on a regular basis.
Mhm.
So when somebody calls me up, I don't go into superstar mode. I don't know what that is. I go into, I need to be there for you. I need to understand where you are. And so I'm listening. I want to hear, I want to appreciate your life and what you're going through. And when you stay humble, when you understand that we all get up in the morning and what do they say? Put our panties
Yeah.
on the same way. We all doing that the same way.
I
So
wish I could figure out a new way though. Like I could just kind of snack my fingers. No, I don't want to be ignoring anyone. Joe is going to do his best at highlighting the people that are coming into the room in the chat.
good.
I saw Tien is here. I saw Cheddar is here. Tien is here. Yes, so everyone wanted to be able to participate today, and this was the best way that we can do it. And so Umi, Jessica, you kind of touched on some of my questions. Umi, what is true love?
Wow.
Mm.
That's
So our topic today is Umi Says. My Umi says, shine your light on the world. So we got to go into what does Umi
Yeah.
say about some of these things? What is true
Yeah.
love?
Love is a big topic
It is.
Mm.
and it has many facets. And you can give all of yourself and think that's love, but you have to love yourself first.
That part. That's
You
good.
can't really care for someone else. You can't be humble. You can't be worried about what's going to happen to you tomorrow if you are trying to really be on a mission to help someone else. So true love is really investing in yourself,
That's good.
healing, healing from all the pain and trauma that you've gone through for, since your childhood. We've all had adverse childhood experiences, ACEs. We've
Mhm.
all experienced them. Some of them have been worse for some people than other people. So I don't want to make any adverse childhood experiences that I had seem, like magnitude, but we've all had them in some way. And so if we have them, then we just have to figure out what is the way that we understand what happened to us,
Mhm.
that we began to heal from what happened to us, and then that we start to forgive people. First of all, let it go.
That part.
You have to let it go so that you're indifferent to it. And then you have to figure out eventually how to, just say, I'm okay.
Mhm.
I'm okay. I love you. I want you to be the best that you can be.
Mhm.
But on the other side of that, that doesn't mean you have to be in my life.
That part. Let it
Okay.
go.
So you let it go, you heal from it, but you don't have to maintain living your life the same way that you've always lived your life. You don't have to have the same people in your life just because they were in your life
That's
yesterday.
good.
Tomorrow they don't have to be there. So you have to decide what puts you in that position of being loving and being able to love,
Mm.
because you have to do both of those things. Not only be loving, but you have to love others as well. So, and love yourself. So, yeah, true love. I hear all the people talking about all these things. I had a former partner of mine long time ago.
Let me
Said
kill
to
me with the former partner.
Yeah. Say to me one time, he says, I don't think, you could really, stay with me. And, if something happened, I heard a story about this couple, and they were homeless and they were living under a bridge, and she stayed with him. And I said, oh, you're asking me if I could give you unconditional
Mhm.
love.
Mm.
And he said, yes, that's what it is. I said, I ain't never living under a bridge with all the friends I got.
There are some
What? I have too much in my life. I don't see that as part of my future.
and I know better.
I'm not living, now I won't say that life can't happen. World War
That part.
Three
Mhm.
might happen, and we have to figure out stuff like that. But where we are right now, no, I don't understand how that would happen. So if you're relating our relationship to some story that you heard,
Mhm.
then yeah, some people might do that, but that's not how I live my life. So
So, Umi, speaking on true love, of all the many folks that you have mentored over the years, who do you love the most?
oh my God, do you see?
It's me. I'll answer for you. It's me.
Thank you for
I'm the
answering.
favorite. Dear Karma, dear Kaylin, dear Congencia, all of you.
I do have children.
Oh yeah, the children.
I do
Look,
have a mother.
Look,
My
Lisa,
mom-
Lori, all of y'all. She
My
love me the
mom
most.
is 104 years old.
Yes.
Let's put that out there.
Yes.
She's 104 years
Yes.
old.
Happy birthday, sweet baby.
Yes. Right. So I love the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should have make it soft for me.
Turn your face. Turn your face.
Gotta let it down a little easy.
Right.
Yes. Well, yeah, but
Lauren
having,
said her.
Huh?
Lauren is definitely said
Lauren
me.
said, "Is it?"
You better let her know, Lauren. All up.
We love you too, Lori. But I hate to
Hi,
hurt your
Lori.
feelings
You
today.
gonna get jumped by all three of them. Literally. At least gonna come kicking you in the neck with the
With a massager.
When I went to Ghana, there were
Mhm.
some young men over there, and they were highly intelligent. They were our tour guides, they were our historians, and it was really, really nice. And so the question was asked, so of all the trips that you've been the tour guide for, are we the favorite trip that you had? Because we were having so much fun and everything. And the main tour guide said, the historian said, I can't answer that question. I really shouldn't answer that question, but I will tell you, Umi is my favorite person that I've ever. So
Can't help it. Can't help
Lauren,
it.
my daughters, and the tour and
Lisa and Toy.
right, Lisa,
Them.
Nope, she done
I'm
forgot.
the first.
Look,
That's
she
why.
done
they were on the phone like, bring my mommy home. Karma was like, I got her. She's not staying in Ghana.
We don't play no games. You know, Karma was bringing her back, bubble wrapped if she had to. So, so something else, and I don't want to take away from Imani or Jessica's questions at all, but
Do you see that it might go on?
it's fine.
Okay.
It's still so Umi is broadcasting live from her page for all of her followers and fans, but her phone may die. She did not prepare. I did not prepare. I should have charged her.
You're the favorite. You should have had her
You
charge.
know I do these things.
She got you.
There we go.
While they are sorting
the
out.
plug is behind her.
Is it?
I don't have a
And
plug.
Look how she plugged it in.
Yeah, I don't have.
I don't have an iPhone. Oh
But
no,
you know
Joe.
you don't plug that in into your phone.
Joe got
Slow.
you. This is why we need Joe.
That's why we love you.
Okay, they ain't even can't prepare with no questions. Now,
No, I
Umi,
came just to
No.
chop it up. I thought we
I-
was just talking to Umi.
And
Yeah.
the
About
questions I
whatever
did
came.
have, she's already answered. So we here.
So
You said
here's
it's not an interview.
it's not, but I got a lot of questions.
We know you do.
You talk
We
to
know
her
you
every
do.
day.
I
You
came
talk
How
to
many
her
questions do you
50,
got?
11 times a day.
We're national partners. This is how they treat me.
Yes, it is.
You talk to her. You know her.
I talk to Umi all day, every day.
all day.
What's
It's
the question
my-
you forgot to ask her this morning?
Yeah.
That
Before they got here.
On the way.
Oh, Cheddar, you did say Cheddar was on the phone. Hi,
Yeah.
Cheddar.
Shadow's on there. Now, Umi, here's another question.
She got all these
Look
progressive
at her.
questions.
Look at her, look at
Trying to
her.
find the
Girl,
almighty
she's
question.
scrolling
If
for the
anything,
look.
right.
Here's a good one.
Okay.
So, at one point in time, a celebrity, we won't call that person out, made public comment about Black women traveling and wearing bonnets. And my daughter, who is here with us today, Miss Imani, she agreed with the bonnet,
I travel with my bonnet, yes.
and
it's
I
bright
did
blue.
not. Umi, how do you feel about women wearing bonnets outside of their bedroom?
Covering our heads, Black women covering their heads,
Mhm.
it's really an ancestral thing. It's a thing that goes back from generations. We have always covered our heads. And a lot of it was about the protection of
Mhm.
our hair. It was about not making sure that we didn't have insects that were getting in our hair, making sure that our hair was able to stay smooth as we wanted to be, or to stay soft, because our hair texture, we recognize there's a way that we need things that we need to do in order to care for ourselves. And so whether you wear your hair natural, and you have it locked, or whether you have it in braids, or whether you have it pressed and curled, or you have a perm, or however you wear your hair. Black women have always looked at how we protect our hair.
Good.
And so the question really is, what about when we go outside? What do we wear? How do we, can we wear our hair coverings when we go outside? I just see it as a matter of style. I see it as a matter of choice. If you want to wear what they're calling a bonnet, I got bonnets. Some of my bonnets, people will say, well, yeah, that doesn't look like a real bonnet. That's all cute and all. It's a bonnet. It's a bonnet.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, that's right. It's a bonnet. And, so we want to make sure that we're covering, and we want to give people their options. Let people live their lives. I
That's
mean,
good.
nobody's talking about how tight your jeans are,
That
or,
part.
so nobody's talking about you wearing leggings, So there's different ways that we dress, and we need to honor where people are. So I'm okay. I'm good with it.
I mean,
And
I ain't going to the grocery store or Target with my bonnet on.
You don't? You bet not.
I don't, for the record. I don't. I have, but I don't. No. When I'm traveling, though, yes, I'm putting that bonnet on, and I'm gonna keep it on.
Okay. Why you looking at me?
No, you look over there because you look at me and straight. You're an adult now. I don't have
There it
any say
is.
over what you do with that head anymore.
I will say, and I think I said this the last time this topic surfaced.
Yeah.
My grandma Gloria, she always said you don't ever want to go out with your bonnet because it look like you stink, it look like you ain't brush your teeth. I get it. And then again, the negative connotation of it, like, okay, you looking real good.
Correct.
It's just, it's dirty or whatever. But like I said, if I'm running out the house, I'm running out the house. I still got that bonnet on. Like, it's been times like I catch myself at the gas station, oh, take it off. Like, but I'm putting it right back on. If I'm traveling, it's gonna stay on that whole time. Walking through TSA. Like,
Listen, I just cut my hair. I may not look like it, but I did. I cut off like 2 feet of growth of my hair because it had just gotten so long. And to me, every day I had on a bonnet. That was a lot of hair,
Yeah.
it was a lot of weight. It was a lot of hair. And so for me to just take and put it up on my head and put on, now my bonnets, I want them to be tight fitting so that they would hold the hair. I don't want it to be loose. I want it to be able to secure my hair. And so, yeah, I got to the point, like post pandemic, or during the pandemic, I was like, I had bonnets on every day. And so, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Well,
And it's
Umi says
another
we can wear
hat.
bonnets. It's
That's
another hat.
right. It's another hat. That's all it is.
What was the moment that you knew you found your purpose and passion?
Wow.
I got good questions.
No, you asked
all these
She
cheap
asked my
questions.
question.
Yeah, like
No, that was
that was one of your
yeah,
questions.
that was my
I was gonna
question.
ask
That was
Umi
my-
like some regular stuff. I
that
be
was
having
my
questions.
question.
Well, Monty, before we get to that one, then you ask a regular. What you
No,
call
like
it?
I ain't got no regular one right now. They
You want to know if Umi
they
wears
usually-
socks?
Shut up.
She don't.
They
No.
usually,
No, she don't.
they usually come to mind like after I encounter Umi. Like the other day when we was walking with Umi or we had went somewhere, it was a meeting or something, and like they just come to mind. Then they'd be like, "Dang, I should have asked Umi like, what's her favorite cereal?" Like it'd be like simple stuff. Like it just be like, "Do she eat cereal?" Like I don't know.
That's a good question. But diet is a good question.
Yes.
There we go.
Just diet altogether is a good question because
That was hypothetical though. That was hypothetical. They just be simple though. Like I wonder. Like I don't know.
and that's life. I mean, that isn't that the best things? Just when you want to know something about a person, then you just know about them day to day. You don't have to know about their, all of their philosophies of life and things like that. But what is your
Yeah, I want to know the regular stuff. Like when we
Yeah.
celebrated Sweet Baby.
sweet baby? My mommy.
You were reading Miss Campbell.
Yeah. When we celebrated Sweet Baby, it's like, I don't know, like as you look around, you just gauge these questions. Like I had some regular questions I wanted to ask Lisa because y'all all like you, Lisa, Lauren, and
Toya.
I always forget about Miss Toy. I ain't gonna lie. I always not like forget about her, but like I just forget to mention.
Thank you.
Forget to mention.
I like that.
There we go. I forget to mention Miss Toy, but I'm kind of more familiar with
Right.
Lisa and Lauren. But like even then, it was like as I'm sitting there with Miss Lisa, it's like, cause y'all all give like that Erica Badu like vibe. So it's like I don't be knowing what to ask. Like, but I be thinking little stuff like as I go home, like I should have asked her. I should have asked her. Like,
Well, I gotta say, the thing that I notice about me and my girls is we're always sort of in planning mode. We're always in looking at the environment. We're always in assessing what's going on. And at the same time, we're having a ball,
Mhm.
and so it's like keeping your eye out on, what's going on, what needs to be done, particularly that we're all event planners,
Mhm.
we're all thinkers, we're all strategists. And so when you have that kind of a background, then you're constantly looking at how do I support, how do I enable, how do I give. We're all on that level of giving, supporting, loving. And so, yeah, we see that. But I want to go back to the diet thing, because to me, that's important.
It is.
It may not be strictly about talking about cereal. I rarely eat cereal, I will say that. But
Umi don't eat no cereal. It was a hypothetical, an example of a simple question.
I like
Get
it.
into the scene eating though. Like you was finna sit here for it. But judge my questions.
No, no, you have good questions.
These are valid questions.
Yeah. But I do think food is important in our lives.
It is.
Food is very important for your health. And I think all of the things that we experience, particularly Black people, when we have so many disproportional and disparities that exist for us, that are negative, that make us more vulnerable for having wellness, for having well-being, then I think that one of the places we have to always start is with the food, what
That's
we
real.
put in our bodies.
Mhm.
We have to start with our gut. How are we caring for our health, our mental and physical health, by caring for our bodies, for our gut? And so, I'm not saying don't eat meat. I'm not saying don't eat. I'm not telling anybody what they need to
That's
do as far as that's concerned. But what I'm saying is that you need to be mindful that there are some foods that are more healthy than other foods. So sometimes I go strictly vegan,
Mhm.
and I don't eat anything that's not vegan. Then sometimes I say, okay, I'm going to have some chicken and some shrimp,
Mhm.
or seafood, and I'll add that in my diet. But I'm conscious of the way that my body feels.
That's
And so I'm
good.
conscious of the way that I feel after I eat. And if I feel bloated, if I feel as though my tummy is poking out, then I know I've eaten something that really wasn't putting my wellness in the first, on the front line. If
And
I
your mental health.
in my mental
Because it
health,
affects your mental health when you eat certain
absolutely.
things, and it puts you in a different position where you start to feel depressed, and then like some of those cravings too. When we talk about the connections to cravings for sugar and what that could be
Yes,
underlying signaling, and it will reflect what's happening in your life when you
that's
think
right.
about the things that you crave.
Mm.
So what does it mean? Oh, here go another question. I went in the middle of the night to Meyer to get some fruit and yogurt. Look at me, funny face. I did lay in my bed and dip my fruit in my yogurt last night.
Okay.
Mhm.
But that was after
Was that
me
your
having
craving?
it was. I was so we always transparent. I was having this whole I talked to me about it earlier, this whole moment in packing where we found candles that I bought in the first week that we moved in our house 14 years
Whoa.
ago.
That's major
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, I need something. And I was like, I just want some strawberry yogurt. And then I
Mm.
got there and I was like, oh, I'm dipping my fruit in it. And I got some fruit to dip in it
Yeah.
and laid in my bed and
Mhm.
enjoyed the whole container. So that's another thing, like
Yeah.
overindulgence. I ain't just have a little bit. I ate the whole
So it was the
container
big,
of
it was
fruit.
the big one.
It was
That
the big
nug
one.
ate up.
And you wanted love and pleasure.
I did. I
You
did.
were seeking love and pleasure. And so when we're having traumatic experiences, then we want to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But our bodies say our minds go to what has brought us pleasure in the past.
Yeah.
Food is one of those pleasure
That's
things.
good.
And so, you think, oh, if I just eat this piece of cake, life is going to seem so much better,
And it's not.
and it's not going to change it. But at least you can have some things that are more healthier than others. So going to the fruit or the yogurt and doing that.
And ice cream.
Well, see, now you're going to the dairy.
I would be like, oh, dairy.
I did
Right.
like how you said, like, you got to be mindful of how you feel. Like, I ain't trying to slim down no more, but I am trying to tone up a little bit, eat
Yeah.
a little bit cleaner.
That's
So, like,
good.
now that, like, I do start to notice, like, okay, I'm a little sluggish. Some days I might feel like I'm like,
Yeah.
like for
Yeah,
real,
like
like
feel
going up
heavy.
the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I be feeling heavy. Can't lift up my knee. I'm like, what the heck, I can't lift up my knee.
At
Like,
22.
you
Right,
know,
at
like, but then
22, girl.
I realized this whole week you've been stopping at Chipotle and you've been stopping at, like, you know, like it's all clogging up and you feel it now. So
Mhm.
And it's clogging up because of inflammation. So
mhm,
all of those things that you're talking about that's making you feel that way
Mhm.
means that inflammation is being created in your body.
mhm,
Inflammation causes all of those negative responses that you're having, the joint pain, like Erica said earlier, the not being able to think, the not being able to remember things,
Mhm.
inflammation throughout your body. And so yeah, it's a big conversation, so we're not going to have it all right now. I'm throwing out some terms for you so that you know that where you need to do your research, where you need to do your learning in order for you to then figure out how do you address these things. You need to understand the impact of inflammation in your body.
That's good. That's real good. Now, Umi, me and Jessica just turned 40 this year.
Praise God. Yeah. Loving it. Loving it. My big girls.
We big girls
I
now.
got big girls.
So the question is, what were you doing when you turned 40?
oh, that's a good question.
That's a good-
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh
I
my
always wondered what did
God.
Umi look like when she was like younger, like 20s. But that's another question though. That's
That is a question because 40 was significant.
oh, you had a ball when you was 40, huh?
You know what? 40 was a turning point in my life. Not meaning any disrespect to other people
Mhm.
who I loved
Mhm.
and love in my life. But
Okay.
And y'all see why I
40,
act like this, right? Who I
Yeah.
loved and loved.
that's right. 40 was significant. Oh, yeah. 40 was the year I had a saying. I even had a motto:
Mm.
fit, fine, 40, and feeling good.
Oh,
That
that's our hashtagging it. Don't
was
worry.
fit, fine, 40.
And feeling good.
And I put a couple of other F words in
Oh,
there, but I
Lord.
won't say them on air. Yeah, I was making big time transition in my life. I
Yes.
was understanding. I was smelling myself.
Okay.
I
And for those in the Black community, we know what that means.
That's right. That's right. I was smelling myself big time and making big decisions and walking out on faith.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a word right there. We could preach a sermon on that, Umi.
Mhm.
That's good.
So then, Umi, how do you feel about like the 20s? Because y'all 40, I'm 22, about to be 23.
The best thing about my 20s was, and I still have very, very good friends, but growing up, I had girlfriends. I had young women in my life that we loved each other. We
Mhm.
just did everything together. I had, I got to call names. I got to call Jan Gonda Wilson,
Yes.
rest in peace. Okay.
Yes,
I got to
yes.
call Maddie McCargo.
Yes.
We had friends, Mildred's out there.
Amen. Go ahead, Miss
Mildred
Mill.
Like the names are hilarious. Like I was saying, like even when my grandma, her name was Dorothy. Like you grew up this whole lifetime with the name Dorothy.
Right, right. That's right. These old school names. That's
Mhm.
right. That's right.
But I love that you called Jan's name because I did
Oh,
have a note here
mm,
to give honor and thanks to you and Jan
wow.
for believing in me, believing in us, and what we could do with Single Mommy Hustle, with Supreme Transitions,
Mhm.
and our way of providing services here in
Yeah.
Detroit, and always supporting survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. And so I have to take that moment since you brought her name up to say thank you
Yeah.
publicly to Jan. She is here with us.
Absolutely.
That was an amazing woman for the time that
Mm.
I got to know her. And I'm just thankful for you sharing your best friend and sister with me and my daughters and my cousin
Yeah.
and so many other women.
And so many. I
So
mean,
many other
I'm
women.
mad that I just started naming them because I could go on. That was the pleasure of life. I mean, these were women. The new name the new term I hear is ride or die.
Yeah.
Ride or die. Ride or die. That's right. That was my group. Yeah.
So I'm going back to my question though, Umi. When,
Yes.
okay, where is it at? What was the moment that you knew you had found your purpose and passion?
That's interesting because I don't think there was a moment that I didn't understand
Oh wow.
what I wanted out of life and as a little girl, my mother would refer to me as her different child. I don't know. I heard her use those terms and I'm
Mhm.
like, what is she talking about? But she would refer to me as her different child. And so I think even as a small child, I understood what I wanted to do. I understood who I was at that age. Now maybe I wasn't all that I thought I was, but I had a way of looking inward.
That's
Mhm.
interesting that you said maybe you weren't all that you thought you were,
In
but
the
you
eyes
really
of others.
were though.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
the eyes of others.
that part.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But you really were.
but I was.
And then at that, time, not having a place as a woman because our culture and our community and the world just wasn't accepting of stronger women and then especially stronger black women.
See, I grew up in the 60s.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
was I
60s.
graduated from high school in the 60s.
Okay.
There was a revolution
There
going
was a
on.
Yes, it
revolution.
was.
Okay.
There was just a revolution going on about girls, about women,
Mhm.
about how we looked, who we
Hmm.
were, and that revolution was clearly in the black community too. So when I refer to my crew, my girls, we were all going through that revolution.
Did
So
you wear an
Jan,
afro?
you know what? I didn't I didn't wear an afro. I didn't. My hair was soft and it didn't look right. It wouldn't do right.
I didn't want to stop you for what you were about to say. You said you and Jan.
Yeah, Jan just lived a couple of blocks over from me, and we would just we would plan and our lives. We would plan. We would have full agendas as little girls in elementary school. I don't even understand how that even existed at that time, but it did. And so no, I think that the majority of my life I've been very comfortable with who I was. I was always had people like Jan and Maddie and Mill, but other people too. My sister Antoinette.
Hey.
Yeah. I always had people in my life that were real and there for me. And so we weren't afraid to step out on faith. And, when Jan died, I said something at her funeral as I spoke about her. I said, we always thought we were grown. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't
Sound
know what
like
else
two
to tell
little
you.
girls I know.
That's
I got more questions. I think I saw a comment by Lori though, and it disappeared before my eyes.
Lori, what did you ask?
Well, I see Ann made a comment also. Not
And
what did Ann say down there? Oh no, Tien. So what's
Talking
up
about
with Tien?
TN's
So Tien
comment.
said Umi was born with purpose and ready to lead.
right. Wow. Thank you so much, Tian, for sharing that.
And
Yeah.
then Ann says knowing your purpose as a child is called a prodigy. That's
Mm.
good.
Wow. Let me write that down.
Right. That's good. And shout out to Ann. I love Ann so much. Continue on your healing journey, sis. I'm most definitely always praying for you, even when we
Absolutely.
don't talk. I was trying to come visit you for Christmas. That's a secret. But with this new move, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, I actually thought that there might be an opportunity for me to get to Minnesota before the first of the year, but Ann, I'm not quite sure I'm going to make it, but we'll see. We're still working
At the
on it.
top of the year, I'm coming though. I'm
All
coming.
right.
I have got to get back, and me and Jessica were talking
Oh,
about
look,
it.
I'm sitting here like the whole plan you had.
Yeah,
You got a whole
it's just not
agenda,
gonna
the
happen at
itinerary.
Christmas. Yeah, so maybe January
I-
we can for sure get in there. Got to go visit my sister and wrap arms around you.
Definitely.
And you are a powerhouse, and So bring your butt to Detroit so you can come on the single mama hustle.
Oh, that would be phenomenal. Oh
You'll
my
come back if
God.
Ann comes, Umi.
I'll come back if Ann comes. That's right. That would be phenomenal.
Now, Umi, tell us, what is the Black Sage Collective?
Well, the Black Sage Collective is actually a new nonprofit, Michigan nonprofit organization. And we're founded to find ways in which we're going to collectively bring members of the culturally specific programs together to work on issues of anti violence against women, to work on issues of supporting children and families in our community. And so we recognize that we can't do that by ourselves, that we have to come together as a consortium. We have to come together in the various different ways in which we do our work, in which we love our people, centered in love, as I said before. But we have to come together and then find ways that we uplift the community. The main thing that I want to say about the Black Sage Collective is we look at a community approach, that we understand that systems are out there, but we have spent 30, 40 years trying to change systems. Systems need to change. But now what we want to do is to go in and invest our time and energy in how do we support the community? How do we educate the community on how systems are operating? How do we educate the community about the historical and intergenerational way in which we have suffered under oppression and the impact that that's had on creating all the disparities and disproportionalities that exist within systems? And
I'm
so
happy this is recorded so I can go back and listen and type up my notes.
I got a paper. We're gonna put it on paper.
I'm
That's
good. I'm so
That's
happy. I'm
good.
so happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that just makes me so happy. The other thing, Umi, so with that being said, that gives a broader view of some of the things that we need to do in our community. And recently, we've seen in pop culture, Jeezy having a
Yes.
conversation with Nia Long about his healing journey as a man, experiencing trauma as a child, his experience with his mom, and her trauma. Then we also shift to P. Diddy and Cassie, and that unfortunate relationship that she found herself in. And then, well, who else we was talking about? Oh, Kiki Palmer. We were also talking about Kiki Palmer in pop culture. So my question is, when these things come up in the news, we often hear nationally, internationally, the question. We can go all the way back to Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, all these different things. The question that always comes up is, why now? Why are they talking now? Why didn't they say something sooner? What should we say as advocates and community members? Because I know in the Black Sage Collective, you also talk about how we respond to things that happen in our community in real time. And I found myself in a nail shop. And that was the conversation. Well, why did Cassie decide now, after all these years, to talk about what happened between her and P. Diddy? And I had an answer, but I'd like to know what Umi says. The answer is when those things come up, because we see it. We see it on social media and random conversations. What's the truth about the response and what's happening?
Well, there's a couple of levels of it, because what we're talking about really is sexism.
Yeah.
We're talking about the way in which women are seen, perceived, and then the way in which society responds to them. And so, if we're looking at this issue of sexism, it's denigrating a person because of their gender.
Yes.
And so, it happens not only in the, for women, but also in the LGBTQ community, as those things happen as well, and transgender women, as those things happen as well. And so, with sexism, we have been taught historically, we have been taught that it is a woman's role to make sure that she takes care of her man, that it is a woman's role to make sure that they do whatever is necessary to make the situation right. And it takes the accountability away from the male gender, from the harm that they are causing. And so if we hear these messages, we constantly hear these messages that frame women in that way, that you're loud. And then we go to Black women.
Mhm.
So not just women,
Woo.
but Black women. So we stereotype Black women as being loud. We stereotype Black women as being aggressive.
Mhm.
We stereotype them as being mean. And we have that image of them with the hands on the hips and telling people
That
off.
part.
And therefore we take that and we say she deserved to have that
Ooh, Umi.
done to her. And we have to understand that no one deserves that violence.
Mhm.
No one deserves to be treated like that. And so that's that one point of sexism that exists. But then there's also trauma.
Mhm.
So we have to look at the way in which trauma impacts us, not only historically, but over the course of our own individual lives. When we're little children and we have things that happen and we're traumatized, it doesn't go away. And so Black women are traumatized when they're little children. We hear about all of the sexual abuse, the sex with children that occur for us. And so many times we hear about the beatings or the mistreatment that they've received. We hear about them not receiving the nurturance that they needed in order for them to grow and develop. We hear about those things. That doesn't go away unless there's some purposeful healing mechanism put into place. So then we grow up into our teen years and we're carrying that trauma with us as well. And so when do you express this? If you're told you're the problem, if you're told you're the reason that this happened to you, when do you have an opportunity to heal and to be able to talk about it? And it's many times years and years before you can do that.
I agree.
But I want to also say that there is legislation right now that has just come out regarding sexual assault and acknowledging the trauma that children have experienced over their life course, particularly as we're talking about sexual assault. A lot of this came out with the Larry Nasser case from the
Yes.
university that came out. And so now there is, and I believe it's been signed. I believe the governor has signed it into law, where they've extended the age in which you can now prosecute someone
Yep.
and not hold it to the same
The
time
statute of
limit,
limitation.
the
And
statute of
that's where
limitation.
Cassie found her hole
That's right.
in New York.
That's right.
She was able, and her and I think it's three others that were able to get in there while they opened it up
Mhm.
to take off that statute of limitations on abuse,
That's right.
sexual assault, and human trafficking. And so I'm commending Cassie for stepping up
That's right.
and
That's
letting
right.
other women know it doesn't matter how long it's been since that assault happened to you, and it took the time for you to process it and feel safe enough or brave enough
That's
to
right.
stand up and say, this happened to me, regardless to who the abuser and assailant is and
Yeah, I'm
their
about to say,
money
'cause that's the
power.
key. It's like
Yeah.
who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the what's the fighter that I brought up last week? Mike Tyson.
Mike
Yes.
Tyson.
Mm-hmm. So something else you mentioned, Umi, in this conversation, I saw something online. I was reading something called the Soulful Pages.
Okay.
It's a nice little blog.
Okay.
It says, when I see, and this is a quote, when I see Black folks attacking Black LGBT folks, I wonder, do they realize that they are only recreating the same oppression white folks impressed upon us?
Yeah, that's oppression. There are many, many different tools to oppression,
Mm-hmm.
and we see them used. And so, whether it's oppression because of your gender, because of your race, those same tools are being used against you because of your religion. Those same tools are being used against you. And, we just have to start with this premise that everyone deserves to have a life of well being.
Yes.
When you start with that premise, then you can't look at someone's gender identification, sexuality identification, and all of those things are on a continuum. Things are not black and white. They're not gay and straight. They're not. Life doesn't happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to really be more conscious and understanding that oppression that we're feeling, and how not only that, how really society and really white support superiority
Oh.
has pushed those types of narratives down in our community, and that we as Black people have accepted some of those narratives.
Mhm.
Okay. So these are narratives that are being pushed down in our community, not and making, and we're buying into them. We have to sit back and start to ask ourselves, what is it that we really believe? What is it that we really want to do in order to uplift all individuals in the world? And so, yeah, it is. It's the same oppression, the same tools that they're using for racism, they're using for homophobia.
That's good, Umi. And y'all wonder why I act like this. So I have to ask. So here at the Single Mommy Hustle, Umi, we have 2 segments.
Okay.
And so we're gonna do like a round robin.
Okay.
So what is your SMH moment? A SMH moment is something that may make you shake your head, laugh, cry. It could be something personal. We don't want to pry unless you want to tell us. But what in the last week was your SMH moment?
You know, the thing, I do some training for the state of Michigan, and I train on, and I do training nationally on the intersection of domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse, and looking at the child welfare system.
Mhm.
And, I've really been sort of hard thinking on the issue of what's happening in our systems to cause all of these disparities and disproportionalities in our Black community. But I know that Michigan is really working and trying to do some things. And Michigan came out with a new change in law.
Okay.
So, a lot of times Black children are separated from their families because kin people don't have the resources to take in their children. So it could be your grandmother, it could be your auntie, it could be someone who is like an auntie to you,
Mhm.
that we in our community would call an auntie,
Mhm.
that would be willing to take you in instead of turning that child and sending them to foster care. Well, Michigan has just opened up the law and opportunity for what they call fictive kin. I don't like that. What they call our aunties, our grandmothers, different people, to be able
I
to
heard about
bring the children in to their home for care until the parents can get them back, and they will pay them like they do strangers.
Okay.
So that was the point. They were paying strangers to take our children and wouldn't pay our relatives to take our children. And now there's a law that now our relatives can be open to care for our children when there are investigations going on. So I was shaking my head and jumping and doing the dance. And I think there was also a recognition that law was changed because it was contributing to the overrepresentation of Black children in foster care. It's what was contributing to that, and they understood that, and then worked on that issue. So I'm glad to hear that.
They got to understand a little bit more.
They got more to understand. We
But
got more to
I'm happy
understand.
about that.
Yes, yes.
Jessica, what's your SMH moment?
You know what? I don't think I really have one. My mouth is sore. Can that be my SMH moment? I had a little procedure, you know about it,
Mhm.
and I'm just coming down off of it, so I'm not really verbal today, guys. But yeah, I wasn't. That's
But you're
my
cute
SMH.
though.
Thank you. That's my
I was
SMH
just going to
moment.
say that. She looking awfully cute.
It is real nice.
The dentist did not forewarn me that I was going to be in this much pain. And I am in pain.
Because Black women's pain threshold is just so high.
And I was
We don't
literally,
feel pain.
I was literally having this conversation with my
Stereotypes,
cousin this
that's
morning.
right.
Like, they don't tell us because they look at us and see this melanin and they say, "Oh, she gonna be good."
She can handle it.
It was like
And
my
that's a myth.
verbatim, my exact words. Like they saw this melanin and didn't think I was gonna be in pain, and I am.
Monty, what's your SMH moment?
I wanted to piggyback off that because when I got them 4 wisdom teeth, they most definitely made it like it was gonna be nothing. Like you're gonna be
See?
fine right after. I was in real
No.
tears.
Mm.
Real tears after. Like, oh my goodness. My SMH moment. I don't got one.
Well, how you feeling your cup this week?
I'm filling my cup off this moment here. Sitting here with Miss Umi. Yeah, this is really nice. I am glad to know you, Umi, and also glean from the other branches that are attached from you, Miss Lori, Miss Toy, Miss Lisa, and even Dame, like
I was
getting to
gonna
know
say, don't
them.
forget Dane.
Yeah, no, Dame was a big one because Dame most definitely. I want to go back to that whole knowing your purpose thing, and I love that it starts from the root, which is Umi, because he was able to like instill into me a few things like girl, but also break it down like how we talk. So that's why I'm like, I'm getting that from your folks. But it was just
Shout out to
awesome.
Dame.
It's just
We love
awesome to be
Dame.
close with y'all. So I'm filling my cup with my relation to you guys, my connection with
I
y'all.
love that.
Beautiful, Monty. That's beautiful.
I am filling my cup this week with my village.
Amen.
Shout out to my sister, my friend Lakita. She took our bean on his first flight, and I've been doing good. I have not been bugging them. They have been calling me more than I have been calling them.
Okay.
They had their first issue today. Oh, I guess that's my SMH moment. Bean went in the store and picked up 6 Reese cups,
Oh no.
and he got mad because she told him to put them back.
Oh no.
And
he can have whatever.
yeah,
he
she
likes.
said, "Well, you can have one." And he looked at her and said, "Well, I don't want any of them."
Amen. And he took that from his auntie
And-
Erica.
And he
Hold
and
the
it,
chicken away.
it shocked her because y'all be so shocked when that bean say something smart to y'all because that bean don't talk to y'all like that. So that's my SMH moment. And I thank God for my village because now y'all see my day-to-day struggles.
Umi, how you feeling your cup?
Yeah, I'm filling my cup 2 ways. One, I'm getting back on my exercise routine. I got a whole gym in my house, y'all know. And but the thing about having a gym in your house is you have to use it.
That
You
part.
just can't be in your house. And so I've started going back down to the gym and working out and taking care of body, mind, and spirit. So, yeah, that's good. But the other thing is that I'm loving the holidays are getting ready to come up. And I have not decorated my house for years. I live by myself. And I was like, we go all these other places around the holidays. We don't really come over here. I'm not putting up another Christmas tree. Not one more Christmas tree. Okay. But now I got family coming to visit me at Christmas time and they have children. I'm like, I need a Christmas tree. I need light. I need everything. I need everything. And so, bless my babies. My babies are coming over. They're bringing stuff, and we're going to get my house together. So, we're going to be ready.
That's good. I don't know how I'm filling my cup this week. I got a long week, a lot of big doors open for me and for Supreme Transitions. Our website is now live, www.supremetransitionscommunity.org.
You want to say you filling your cup with new beginnings?
Oh man. Jessica, the fact that you said that and we haven't even talked today. I talked to someone this 2-3 days ago, and I was reading something that they wrote about new beginnings. And I'm just gonna make it real quick. One of the excerpts, it says that someone was grabbing their wrist and shaking them back to reality to wake them up, and asked 3 questions. Are you breathing? Are you thinking? Do your hands work? If so, you're ready for new beginnings. And so I was kind of meditating on that these last couple days, and I'm breathing.
You are.
I'm thinking,
You are.
and my hands working. So I am ready to continue on this next phase.
And your cup is
That
just
came full
running
circle.
over.
That came full circle because I've been like asking you those probing questions all week.
It's so interesting. So I'm just filling my cup with tears, if I be honest, and it's all gratitude. I did absolutely nothing 2 days a week. Forgive me for everybody that's looking for things from me. I did nothing for 2 whole days, not in a row, but during this week, and just to be in the moment at this time and just reflect, and just so much gratitude for where and how far I've come, and just the enormity, and it's limitless. Like it's a whole new universe ahead of me, and I'm very excited about it, and I'm not afraid of the dark pockets and the patches. And so before we go, our closing words with that being said, does anyone have any words of empowerment for those survivors that are taking their next steps in this transition, that are going to start new beginnings, that are in a new beginning. What are your final words to empower someone that may have listened and watched this episode today on new beginnings?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm about
yeah,
to say.
I'll say it for
What you
you.
say, Joe?
No, it's oh, right. I
I
know,
threw
right?
y'all off, huh?
I'm sorry. I got excited because Kendall called. I'm sorry. And I couldn't answer.
But let me say
I got
this though,
excited.
Jessica, before you answer. Somebody also gave us a compliment this week that I was not expecting. People think we script this thing.
Really?
People think we script this thing. And I'm
By the way,
like,
I'll be talking.
this is the way we regularly talk with our nutty selves and deep thoughts and not deep thoughts. But and
Better than a Tubi movie?
that part better than a Tubi movie. But words of empowerment, so we can wrap this thing up and let Joe go. You got something in you, Monty.
Who?
Yeah,
Y'all don't know what I
You've been
got.
carrying this thing. I've been very proud of you. I've been very, very proud of you.
I mean, again, I feel like I'm taking that because I am working close with Dame. Like again, I'm just gleaning off of everything that I'm absorbing from the different people around, which I am grateful for. Thanks, Mom,
You're
for
welcome,
putting
babe.
me in these different positions to be able to glean. So I guess
Shout out to my mom.
shout out to my mom and to my mom. Thank you to my mom. We looking for words of encouragement. I would just say keep going. I know that's like real cliche, real like so easy to say,
it's
like keep your
appropriate.
head up. But like sometimes, like I'm one of those people. Like sometimes I don't want to hear that. Like I just want. It's like you be looking for something more, but like literally, you just have to keep going. Like
It's literally
keep
just that simple
the car
sometimes.
moving. Put a little more gas in that car. However you put that gas in that car, and just keep moving. So yes.
And one of my favorite cartoons, Meet the Robinsons.
Just keep swimming.
Wrong movie. But
I know.
that's okay.
I went to
Oh, you
Nemo.
want to go to Dory?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
I
cool.
switched it. We
But
just want
yeah,
Disney.
sometimes it is just that simple. Just
Yeah.
keep moving forward. New beginnings is
It's real. This is our last quarter of the year. We wrapping this thing up.
I guess don't be scared. Cause
sometimes
like
silence is golden too. So it is like a
yeah.
It's like we made it.
Yeah.
Mhm. I don't want to not acknowledge L. Hey, L.
Hey, beautiful.
Hey,
L
L.
is in the studio.
Umi, your words.
Yeah, I think that I would look back on if I'm talking to survivors and talking about identifying ways that we can find to cope in the heat of the moment. That we have so many things that come in front of us all the time. And so sometimes it can't be about the long range plan. Sometimes it's not about how to survive 10 years from now. It's about in this moment, what do I need to do in order to calm myself so that I can think about what my options are and so that I can chart a course
That's
to
good.
move from here to the next step.
Mhm.
And so, I love it when we say, help them set goals, help them do. Yeah, we want to do that. But we also have to be able to just understand how we can get through what's happening to us right now. And that's why when we talk about meditation, when we talk about yoga, we talk about those as being exercises of the breath. Right, Lisa? Anyway, exercises of the breath. And so
Deep breaths and heal.
deep breaths and heal. Yeah, that we have to learn how to get through that moment. And so identify those strategies that help you to get through that moment. And there are different ways that you do it, that everybody has to do it, but identify and then practice them so that when you need it, it's automatic. You don't have to wait for, to the panic attack to set in. You can get through that moment and then be able to see what is your longer term vision of what you need to do.
That's similar to what Janae Aiko has said something like that, and I related to that. She said that was one of the biggest things that she learned this year, like through those anxious moments, like when we were leaving that meeting, and it was me, you, Umi, my mom, and Lisa, and like Lisa was able to just look at me, and it's like even sometimes it do to be those looks, but it's just like breathe and just still push through, like continue to move, But that is a key thing going into the new year. Honestly, for me, is learning how to maneuver through the anxious moment because I get like hyper. I get it. Like it'd be like, okay, like, but to think through that's the part,
Right.
you know.
My word of encouragement is I'm proud of you.
Mm,
I'm
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
Yes.
I'm proud of you, Elle.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, Monty.
Mhm.
I'm so proud of
I
you,
needed-
Jess.
needed to hear that.
Umi, I'm proud of you.
And I love that. I love
Thank
that.
you.
I
And guess what?
absolutely do.
I'm proud of me.
I'm so proud of you.
So yes, don't forget you can find anyone experiencing any type of violence, domestic, sexual violence, male, female, genderless. We are here to help. In the caption of this broadcast are very important phone numbers that you can call at any time, emails, and a text number also for the National DV Hotline. We also put them in the chat. Umi, this has been an amazing time.
I had so much fun. Can I ring my bell
You
again?
ring the bell. And we enjoy everyone that came and chimed in the comments. We love you all. And we have one more, Joe, broadcast this year. And so we gonna try to bring out some stops for the last one for season 3 as we prepare for season 4 in the new year. But this has just been amazing. It's been awesome being here with Detroit is Different. If you are looking for a podcast home, you can't have Joe as your engineer. He's ours. But tap in with Kari Frazier. And we also have to once again say thank you to UJIMA, Karma Cotman, and the entire team for funding this season of the Single Mommy Hustle. And we will see you again next week. Bye.
Bye. Peace and love. Peace and love.